We all wanna change. We all wanna be somebody else. I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days TV. I'm your host, Kathy Blaze, and I am so excited to have Mr. Robert Conway here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
You know what, I was so excited to have you because I know you have a new film coming out. You have a film that's premiering. You just all out there doing it, aren't you?
Yeah, the Rolling Stone gathers no moss. So just keep moving.
You know what? Filmmaking, you're a filmmaker. Filmmaking, in my opinion, isn't for the faint at heart.
Yeah, probably that's accurate, I think.
So, knowing that, what inspired you to want to be a filmmaker?
I before I even knew it was like something you could do as a job, I always was a filmmaker. Like when I was a really little kid, my grandmother had one of those ginormous VHS cameras, and she would videotape my brothers and me reenacting Robin Hood or King Arthur or Star Trek or whatever, Star Wars. So it's just kind of like, I always wanted to be a storyteller, and I was involved in theater as a kid, but I just kind of felt more drawn towards the cinema.
Okay.
You know, and I have family, my uncle, Tommy, he worked in the business, and he would tell me about, like, you know, we'd watch Star Wars, and he explained to me that this massive spaceship is actually about this big. And, you know, it was just really, I was just so fascinated by the world from a very early age that I never seriously contemplated doing anything else.
Wow.
And then, you know, I just kind of just never really grew up, I guess, in that sense.
That's fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's really awesome because, you know, a lot of times people are saying, well, you know what, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. You know what, I'm still trying to grow up.
Yeah.
But you knew since a child because you had that around you.
I did.
As a child. So that helped formulate what you wanted to do in life.
Yes, it really did. I mean, my grandma, she used to just, we make Westerns and we'd make all types of different, and we started getting into effects. We'd do little special effects with, you know, kicking up dirt to make it look like it's smoke and different things like that. You know, and I got a little bit older. I was still doing it just, you know, with my neighborhood friends. And I acted in the movies. I never wanted to be an actor, and I still end up sometimes doing it. If like an actor quits and I got to shoot that.
You have to jump in there.
Right, but yes, like, you know, I was trying to prompt my friends through it. Like we were doing a Robin Hood movie, and my buddy was Robin Hood. He couldn't remember the dialogue. So I'd be like, hey, Robin Hood, shouldn't we save Maid Marian? And he'd be like, yes. Okay, let's go. So I would kind of prompt my friends through the scripts that I would write. And yeah, so it hasn't really, you know, not much has changed.
That's awesome that the director, the producer, he's aware of all the parts of what's going on with the filmmaking. Yeah. So if someone falls out or someone forgets a line or whatever, you're able to jump in and help. Not that you want to.
Usually my actors do it pretty good. Yeah, usually they're pretty good, but it does happen. I mean, we work long hours. You know,
yeah.
It's usually on location, so it's tough work.
That's a part of it.
It really is. I mean, without good actors, without good crew, film is impossible. So anytime you see a film that anything has come together, right. It's a heck of a lot. Even on this level, very independent film, there's a lot of dedicated people who sacrifice a lot to make it happen.
Right. You named a couple of different genres of movies, especially that was around you when you were a child. Mm-hmm. How would you define your style of filmmaking at this point?
Well, I mean, I played a lot in horror. I started in Western. My first feature was a Western. Oh. I did a Western a couple of years ago called Eminence Hill, which was my first Western in a long time of doing just horror movies. But, you know, my style is to try to make, I think I'm a writer too. So I look at everything through that lens of like making movies with characters that are interesting regardless of genre. So for example, with a horror movie and you have like people getting, you know, a maniac or a monster or supernatural entity as the enemy, are those people interesting enough and do we care enough about them where if it wasn't for this, you know, genre thing, this monster, would we still want to see a story about them? So I start with that, and I think that's really where my style comes in. I try to make my characters compelling so that we want to see just a movie just on them and their backstories and their struggles.
Right.
So
I like that.
That's what I kind of introduce, and I'd like to think that's kind of my signature with my films. When I do horror, I try not to do like, you know, vacationing teenagers or any of the old cliches.
Mhm.
I try to say, well, let's make the people bank robbers on the run. Something exciting, something where there's a cat and mouse game going on. There's some backstory that compels us to.
Especially since that's a popular genre.
Right.
So giving it a different flair to it.
Yeah,
is awesome.
and making it where, some problem with supernatural stuff or horror films is people just want to just see the effects. They just want to see the kills and all that. So I try to I want to make it where you care. You don't want to see this person get killed. When they do, it's an event. It's something that will have an emotional reaction to. So.
How would we just talked about your style?
Mhm.
Okay, if there was someone out there that you admired, who would you compare your style to?
I just have so many great influences. Martin Scorsese is probably my all-time favorite director. Close second would be Clint Eastwood. But I draw influences from so many different filmmakers, and some of them are filmmakers that aren't necessarily considered very successful. But I love the Eddie Murphy recently did a movie called My Name Is Dolomite. Yeah, did you see that? That was a great one. Because that very independent approach, Rudy Ray Moore had this DIY approach to filmmaking, which I can certainly sympathize with as an independent filmmaker. Tim Burton made a film with Johnny Depp called Ed Wood, where, those guys, whatever people might think of their movies, their spirit and their enthusiasm and their love for what they were doing, that's inspirational.
That's true.
And people who didn't experience a lot of, Rudy Ray did more than Ed Wood, but people who struggled a lot with the reception of their work, but they just kept going, So that's inspirational on that level. And creatively, there's just so many. Steven Spielberg, of course. He's the Michael Jordan of cinema today.
Yes, he
Alfred
is.
Hitchcock going back a bit, but there's just so many. It's hard to pin it down. Robert Rodriguez, for horror-related stuff, I think he's really good. Quentin Tarantino, naturally.
I knew his name was going to come up there.
Oh yeah. His last movie is one of my favorite films of the last 3 or 4 years.
So, we're going to see one of your trailers today. The one is
Skinwalker.
Skinwalker. So, are we ready for that trailer? So we're going to take a break and we're going to show the trailer of Skinwalker.
Burial ground. Apache?
You know what this is? An elder death totem. It's sacred.
Hello?
What's happened here? Plague.
You were looking for this, right?
Mister, what's gotten a hold of you?
Those stories folks would tell, the evil that dwells in these lands.
They call them skinwalkers. Can take on the shape of man or beast.
And they can't be killed.
No.
Keep away from her.
Don't move any closer.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that trailer. Again, Mr. Robert Conway. You also have a new film that's, it's Skinwalker that's premiering, right?
Skinwalker premieres tonight. Actually, it came out on VOD on Tuesday, but
Okay.
we're having our Phoenix, Arizona premiere tonight. We had a screening up in Payson, Arizona last night.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's nationwide. As of Tuesday, it was nationwide on VOD. DVD is in October, so we'll be at
Okay.
Walmart and the few places that still sell DVD.
Right. Walmart always has plenty of DVDs,
They
don't
do.
they? Okay. Where did the name Skinwalker come from?
Well, Skinwalker is actually it's a Native American myth. Basically, it's a shape-shifting entity. I wrote this film during the lockdown, where I was like, I wanted to do something that was obviously topical, which would be, COVID-19 outbreak, but not so on the head where, like, I know a lot of filmmakers are doing actual quarantine movies where people are in quarantine together and one of them's an axe murderer or what have you. I wanted to do it more where it was like a little bit more escapism than that. So I went with the supernatural, basically the invisible enemy, the skinwalker. It could be you, it could be me, it could be anyone. So because in my lore, the shapeshifter would go from human to human, more like a possession, demonic possession type thing. So that's why I came up with the script idea.
Okay, one last question. What's next for Mr. Conway?
I have a script that we're producing with Uncorked Entertainment again, called Hellhounds, and it is about werewolf bikers.
Okay.
So
awesome. Can't go wrong with a good werewolf, can you?
It just sounds fun. It's just gonna be a fun movie.
So where can our audience find you?
You can find me on Amazon. You find the movies on Amazon, iTunes, Vudu, all the major digital platforms. You can find me on Facebook at FilmGuy79. You can find Skinwalker at Skinwalker Western on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
That is awesome. It was such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
We look forward to Skinwalker and Hellhounds when it comes out. Thank you for joining us at Desertwood Days TV. I'm your host, Kathy Blaze, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.